So my ex-girlfriend gave me $30,000 to invest in cryptocurrency for her, and I really wish this video was clickbait. So in this video, I'm going to share the story of how I wrecked my ex-girlfriend's portfolio with meme coins. I mean, she is an ex for a reason. Just joking, but in all seriousness, I'm going to give you my top 2021 Q1 crypto picks depending on your risk tolerance. And yes, I've even put together a portfolio. I'm actually going to outline 4 different options for portfolios. I've even put together a portfolio for you pump and dump degenerate scumbags. Actually, I think that was a little too much. Degenerates. So if I was to live it all over, and I only had $30,000, which I get it is actually still a decent amount to invest, but you know, you can still extrapolate this and make this if you had $3,000 for example. This is what I would do. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this video, if you are looking at my channel at the moment, for you know, and you guys who've been around here for a while and you're wondering, Iman, why are you putting out crypto video? Because I want to, right? I'm sure most of you guys know the way that I made my money was I started in 2016 when I was still 16 years old in high school. I started a marketing agency. So I wasn't really a marketing agency back then. I was really just a glorified contractor. Anyways, 5.5 years on, it is a very successful advertising agency right there with the least cool name on earth, IG Media. 5.5 years on, as I said, pulls in anywhere from $1 million to $1.5 million a year profit, okay, not revenue, profit. So what that allowed me to do, which is pretty cool, was at the beginning, or sorry, right at the end of 2022, I actually put in $1 million in principal. Over the space of the next 6 months, I put in around another 500K. Long story short, I ended up the year taking that $1.5 million and turning it into around $9 million with crypto. So I really want to state this. I am no crypto expert whatsoever. I do know more than 99% of the population. And really all I want to do here on this channel is I have helped you guys for years and years build up your own agency, build up your own cash flow business. Now I just thought it'd be kind of fun to share a little bit about what I'm doing with investments, what I'm looking out at, and just kind of give you guys some tips. Now, another really important thing to mention, because I know some of you guys will be like,
you don't understand technical analysis, and me. You only understand market sentiment, and me.
And look, that might be true, but I also understand on-chain metrics. Okay, but look, it is true. All right, I don't understand technical analysis, but you know who does? My researcher. Now, this isn't something that I've publicly disclosed since I basically brought him on in September. I have a full-time researcher working for me. He is the one that helps me with a lot of my more recent trades. I did get to a stage in 2021 where I was like, I'm making so much money with crypto, like it's insane. Like I should probably have a team, like a data scientist and a researcher and a this and a that, and like, you know, someone to study ICOs and like literally just have like a full-time team on deck just working for my own research stuff. Good news is, I'm not gonna say his name, but the person that works for me full-time, he's basically all of those wrapped up into ones, including NFTs, which I haven't actually talked about, but I've been involved in for much longer than most people actually realize. So anyways, that's my little disclaimer about my knowledge. Is I understand on-chain metrics, I understand sentiment. I look at the crypto world in terms of projects and stuff like that from a business perspective. As you guys know, I built multiple very successful businesses over the years. Yeah, that's pretty much about that. And basically any holes where I just need to be very airtight when it comes to the actual information about projects, and like, you know, I'm kind of, there's a gap in my understanding. I speak with my researcher every single day. We have a call every single day. So as I was kind of preparing this video for you, just writing down some bullet points and stuff like that, and there was a couple of projects I was a little shakier on in terms of understanding of their utility, white paper, kind of the nitty gritty stuff. So for those of you guys who are like, you're not a crypto expert, you are correct. And I'm telling you myself, I am not a crypto expert. I just know more than 99% of people. And I've made more than 99% of your favorite crypto YouTubers. So there we go. And by the way, I've made more than 99% of them through crypto, not affiliate, which is actually, most won't realize, because I actually know most of these people offline, especially living in Dubai. That's how they all make their money. They don't actually make their money from crypto. They make their money from affiliate and sponsorships and all this other crap that I will never do. So on that note, let's get into the video. Oh yeah, one last final thing. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. I can never tell you what to do. The only thing I can tell you is what I'm doing. I can only share what I'm doing. So basically just don't follow my advice. I'll tell you my advice, but don't follow my advice. Because yeah, I think if you're looking for financial advice, maybe look for someone with gray hair or someone who can grow a beard, something like that. Maybe don't listen to a 20-year-old on the internet. So on that note, let's get into portfolio 1, the DEGEN portfolio. Actually, before we do that, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's talk about Bitcoin and also why McDonald's has so many job applications all of a sudden. And what I'm talking about is the state of the market right now. Whether you like it or not, and I think this will continue to happen until Ethereum flips Bitcoin, which I genuinely believe will happen, Bitcoin still dictates the market. And we're down something like 40% from our 65K all-time highs. And this is to be expected because crypto is still a very, very new space. And a lot of retail traders are just very frenetic. They're just like, they're not taking this seriously. They're FOMOing into things. They're getting liquidated and they're getting wiped out. Now I'll actually get Tristan to pop up on the screen here just throughout the video as I talk about this stuff. If we look at the fear and greed index, which to me is not the be all and end all, there have been times where, we're in extreme fear and the markets are pumping. And there's times where we've been in extreme greed. And especially there's been times where we're in extreme greed. And one would look at that and be like, okay, it's definitely time to sell. And the markets continue to do a massive run up. I can think of 2020, like November 2020-ish, that sort of period. That was the time when I seriously started getting into market, and it was definitely quite frothy back then. And you look at the fear and greed index and go, okay, you got to sell. And then if you sold, you would have been an idiot, because that was definitely a glorious time in this bull run. Anyways, if we look at the fear and greed index, both on the daily, weekly, and monthly, it's all sub 30, which basically means extreme fear. And as the saying goes, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Now we are currently seeing Bitcoin hold the line at $40,000, and this very well could be a bottom, because if we look at a bunch of different indicators and signals, this does look like a potential bounce zone. So this means that buying into the market now could be a good idea because we have reset leverage. I mean, the market's been red for a few weeks now, and we are definitely in extreme fear. So this is where smart money is starting to come in, especially, most were in Turks and Caicos over the last month or so, enjoying their holidays. And this is where retail obviously runs for the hills. They panic, they 30% drop and they think the sky is falling. So now that's out the way, talking about sort of the state of the overall market. Let's get into portfolio one. So I'll see if Tristan can kind of put up some icons here, or like 3 portfolios and then the thingies here. Yeah, portfolio one, the DEGEN portfolio. So this is for all of my DEGEN subscribers that by the end of the year either want to be broke, living on a bench, or driving a Lambo. And for them, it's like a one or the other type of thing. All right. So don't tell me that I did not warn you. Now, this isn't the proper DEGEN stuff. One of these does have a really low market cap. Well, actually, I couldn't even find the market cap, but it's got a really low ranking. I would definitely consider a micro cap altcoin. Where was I going with this? Yes. So this is for those of you guys that kind of want to venture into the underbelly of the altcoin world. Okay. Now, I personally wouldn't go down this route in 2022. But as I said, those of you guys that can stomach extreme risk and can stomach volatility, this might be a good option for you. Now, this is not really a degenerate pick, but my first pick is going to be Ethereum. I know you might be rolling your eyes. I will get into some juicy ones here. But for me, I think it is an irresponsible act not to own ETH in 2022. Very simply, ETH is the financial internet. Imagine Bitcoin, but you can actually do things with it. That might piss off some people. By the way, I hold 0 Bitcoin. I haven't for over a year now. Very quickly, I realized this is not a good idea. Sorry, Michael Saylor. Anyways, we can look at Ethereum sort of as the ground zero, right? With everything being built on top of it. Things like dApps, which is a decentralized application, or smart contracts. So as I said, Ethereum is kind of the soil that fertilizes those projects and those protocols. So one could in essence view Ethereum as programmable money. So Ethereum is currently the largest and most successful layer 1 protocol out there. And in my opinion, it will stay that way for years and years to come. 5 years down the line, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but for the time being, it's definitely the leading racehorse. So look, at the end of the day, it is always good to have some level of stability in every portfolio, which is why I think, although this is the DEGEN portfolio, I still think you should allocate some of your funds to Ethereum. If you want to be a little riskier, you could replace Ethereum for AVAX or maybe even Luna. Obviously not for the same function or the same purpose in terms of what they do, but just as a sort of like your safer bet. But yeah, if I were you, I would go for ETH. Obviously ETH 2.0 is coming around the corner. I mean, you never can quite trust ETH in terms of their roadmap, but surely at some point in 2022, ETH 2.0 will be deployed, and obviously that will make things, that will just make it a lot more usable. Now, if we quickly take a look at its charts on CoinMarketCap, we can see the price has pulled back over 35% from its roughly $4,800 highs. Now, in my opinion, it's times like these that we should be dollar cost averaging into our positions. Right now, Ethereum is cheap at just over $3,000. And also, as I said, I'm not a big TA guy, but I do understand the fundamentals of it. And I spoke to my researcher, and he basically drew some shapes and some arrows and wedges and said some stuff that I didn't understand 90% of it, but you know, I had a rudimentary understanding. You know, if you do look at the technical indicators, they are showing that a bottom is near, and the next leg up for ETH could take us, you know, who really knows? It's a guessing game. But I have very, 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 very strong conviction that we're going to see a $10,000 ETH in 2022. Now, my next pick in your DEGEN portfolio, just so you can add it in there, is Render. Now, Render is arguably one of the most revolutionary technologies to come to the NFT space. So basically, Render is focused on distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain. So in layman's terms, in very simple terms, basically what Render does is it helps power the metaverse. And then to make it a little less simple, the way that it does that is actually by creating a decentralized network of hardware for projects to then go ahead and use. You see, the issue is that most GPUs are not in use, and this is really where the Render protocol, as well as the Render token, comes in. What Render does is it allows these GPUs to be used in exchange for Render tokens. Basically, if I develop a complex 3D NFT artwork, I'm going to need a very complex GPU in order to process that. However, obtaining this hardware can be very expensive. So instead, what I can do is I can tap into this distributed pool. So essentially, if you have GPU that is not in use, you can loan it out and actually earn passive income from it. Now, just looking at the charts, we actually saw Render have a huge run up from 8 cents in late 2021 to an all-time high of $8.80. Now, currently the price is corrected over 60% and it's now trading at roughly around $3.60. Now, when we get dip opportunities like this, it is time to load up, especially when we are about to move into the most progressive years in metaverse and gaming development. The next project I would include in our DEGEN portfolio, the next and the last one, would be VPAD or VLaunch. Now, this is the first ever fully influencer-backed multi-chain launchpad in the crypto space. Now, this project was fronted by two very popular blockchain influencers, Crypto, as well as CryptoMo and a bunch of other influencers. Their sort of launch strategy actually was very, very interesting. I was talking about it with one of my buddies earlier today. Now, VLaunch is changing what normal launch pads do by giving hundreds of crypto influencers the ability to help guide projects as well as market any new tokens coming out, which inevitably will drive up hype, drive up demand to any of these new DeFi projects launching on their protocol because they already have a massive audience. So launchpads are a very easy way to access early stage investments, which, let's be honest, if you can actually get in before everyone else can, which most of the time you can't, are the best time to actually buy low cap altcoins. Now, a lot of times, if it is a good project, it can yield instant profits because, you know, as I said, these projects are in high demand if the utility is actually there. Now, to date, VLaunch has attracted a lot of attention and exploded on the charts after its IDO just a few weeks ago. Now, currently, it's going through a little bit of a correction phase after its highs at $2 and roughly $2.30, we'll say. Now, as with any newly launched project, price action is bound to be volatile. I am rather impressed by how firm it seems to be holding. It's not having massive swings or massive volatility, but bear in mind, you know, trade this one with caution and make sure to dollar cost average in to average your buys if it is to go and sort of keep trending lower. So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up portfolio 1. Now, getting into portfolio 2, this is the medium risk portfolio. This is for those of you guys that like to think that you like risk, but you will never go on the fastest ride at the amusement park, and you most likely still wear boat shoes. Hope that didn't offend anyone. So let's get into it. So first choice is ETH. Now, you will notice that ETH is presented in all 3 of the portfolio options, so I'm not going to go ahead and repeat myself here. I've said what needs to be said. Now, my second choice for this medium risk portfolio is Luna, and I am a massive, massive fan of Luna. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, just so you can throw my Insta anywhere here, you would have seen, I actually did a little breakdown back in right at the end of October. I wish I'd done it sooner. My researcher was telling me, like screaming at me from the beginning of October to get on it, telling me kind of from like the beginning of September, hey, you need to get on it, but like from October, yeah, I guess, or you take some L's. Look, the point is, I put on Insta right at the end of October that I bought $1 million in Luna. Now, although I still had a near 8-figure crypto portfolio at the time, I didn't want to switch my portfolio around. So what I did was I took a loan out against my crypto as collateral, took out a loan for $1 million, and that was, I said, right at the end of October. Just will throw up the screenshot of me doing that and the date. And then you'll also see, I believe it was on the 23rd of December, I ended up right when it was at its highest. Like I think it was over $100 at that point. Or just right around $100. I actually ended up paying back the principal. So I paid back the $1 million. So I sold $1 million worth of Luna. And that left me with a profit of $1.5 million in 7 weeks using the bank's money. Bank, technically. Whatever. And yeah, I live in Dubai. So obviously no capital gains tax as well. So any hoo-ha, my point here is I'm a fan of Luna, and I did want to pay off that principal, and I think it was, as you can tell from the way the market went, I think it was very smart to pay off the principal. I'm not someone who, even if I know the market realistically is going to drop, for me, I'm more of a long-term investor or medium to long-term investor, or especially with a lot of my coins, and Luna is one of those really long-term ones for me. So for me, if I had that $2.5 million in Luna and none of that was a loan from the one of these DeFi protocols, then I would have just kept it there, even though I was expecting a massive pullback and a massive correction, which is exactly what happened. But because I took the loan out, for me it was important to pay back that principal. So everything that's left is now mine to keep. And as I said, I basically got whatever $1.5 million worth of Luna was at that time for free. So I'm gonna try to explain this very in a concise way, because Terra is way too complicated for me to explain in this video. So let me kind of try to give you guys the bullet points. What it does is it solves a massive issue in the cryptocurrency space, which is fiat-backed stablecoins. Now I'm sure we've all seen the USDT, so Tether, as well as USDC is under attack from the SEC. Such a handful. Anyways, what Luna is aiming to do is it's trying to solve this problem by creating decentralized stablecoins for crypto. So to make sure the UST, which is basically the Terra stablecoin, maintains its peg and does not blow up, Terra uses algorithms to basically, how do I put it? Basically arbitrage the market, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to look at the way the state of the market, and it's either going to burn Luna or it's going to mint UST. Kind of causing that sort of equilibrium balancing act. Now, if you look at the chart, it actually ran from $1 all the way to over $100. I said right around the time I sold out. Just, and actually, if you could like Photoshop a crown on my head or something, just wanted to introduce you guys to the new king of crypto. As you can tell, I always sell at the top, right? Exactly as I did with my Cardano. Totally sold out at $3 and not holding some bags still. But it'll come back. Trust me, all my ADA followers, it'll come back. But yeah, as I said, just wanted you guys to know who the new kid on the block is, the new crypto king. Oh man, I'm really not smart enough at crypto to be making these jokes, but anyways, let's get back into it. So as I said, it ran up to $100 right before the end of 2021. And really, this is mainly because the UST market cap was exploding as people seek a decentralized stablecoin, which meant that a lot of Luna also needed to be burned in the process. Now, Terra Luna to $1,000 in 2022 is not a meme. And I actually saw a video from one of my buddies with that exact title. So by the way, Sheldon, heads up, if I make that video, I'm going to say Luna's going to $1,100, just so I don't copy your title. But as I said, like for me, it really is not a meme. And for me personally, I will be continuing to gobble up the dips anytime it goes below $100. In fact, I say that with so much conviction, I'm actually thinking about moving Ethereum, which is my biggest holding, and converting that into 3 or 4 of these larger cap coins, but that have a lot more potential, in my opinion, in 2022. I think they have the potential to do what Ethereum did in, basically last year, which is how I made most of my money initially. I know some of you guys are saying, oh, but Iman, you said everyone needs Ethereum in there. I get it. I am trying to go big in 2022. And I have a business right there that makes me, a couple million a year. Well, that one and a couple others, but the main business, makes me $1.5 million a year. So whatever, if my crypto portfolio goes to shit, I really don't care. So yeah, that is Luna. Let's get into my third pick for our medium risk portfolio. And that will be Elrond. Now for me, Elrond is hands down one of the most undervalued projects in the crypto space today. Now, it has some very deep tech, which is way too complex to talk about in this video, but all you need to know is it is a transaction powerhouse. It can do up to 15,000 transactions per second, and it can do it for like a fraction of a cent, I believe. Now, if you've ever paid exorbitant gas fees, you will know how important this is. Now, for me, I still believe it is significantly undervalued, and I still think it has a large run ahead of it. Now, I have a strong feeling because of the immense rally that some of the layer 1 ecosystems have gone through, I feel like that's gonna have a trickle-down effect with some of the more undervalued layer 1s that target, the big issue of scalability. Now, for me, Elrond is positioned perfectly for this open market interest, and I think it is coiled up. I think it's ready to go, raring to go for its next leg up. And let's kind of take a look at the charts. Now, if you take a look at price action, we saw a strong push in Q4 last year due to the launch of the Mayor exchange, and have since seen Elrond correct with the rest of the market. Now today, Elrond is sitting 66% below previous all-time high. Now this is the kind of dip opportunity we need to wait for to make sure we average in good entries. But I do see the price flattening out around the $180 to $150 level. Now once the market bounces and flips bullish, I expect Elrond to have a very, very strong bounce. Now for portfolio 3. Portfolio 3 is actually the low risk portfolio. So this is if you are Swiss or you've ever worked in wealth management, or if you have a framed photo of Warren Buffett above your bed. This is for you. Now my first pick is going to be Ethereum. We've already touched on that already. My second pick is actually going to be Luna again. So as I said, I've already discussed that. My third pick is going to be Solana. Now Solana was built for the purpose of being a very cheap and highly scalable network. It is a solution to slow transaction fees as well as high gas fees. Now, it is estimated that at full capacity, Solana can actually process 710,000 transactions per second, which I get it. Like I am still a fan of Ethereum, but ETH 2.0 is nowhere in sight. Okay, currently, right now Ethereum can process 30 a second. So as I said, I know this is at full network potential, but compared to Solana, 710,000 per second. Now, currently Solana is still in beta. Even though I wouldn't really consider it to be in beta, but I think they're doing that as a way to sort of protect themselves because they have had some issues even a few months ago with DDoS attacks and stuff like that, which did affect the price, but only momentarily. So I think that's kind of like a way for them to kind of hedge against that. But yeah, technically it's still in beta. So there's a long development roadmap ahead of it. But even though it's still in beta, we have already started to see the yield farming capabilities. We've already started to see the GameFi potential, and we've seen the NFT market boom on Solana. Mainly down to the fact that it, mitigates the need for these crazy high Ethereum gas fees. Now, Solana saw a massive run up from around $1 in 2020 to an all-time high of $260 in Q4 last year. We have seen a drastic correction in Solana, which is due to be expected considering the 260x run up it had. Now, I would expect Solana to find a bottom around the $140 to $120 zone. Now, one thing I have noticed about Solana is that when the market sentiment flips bullish, we see strong movements for the SOL token. So for me, this is still one to definitely be loading up on, as I see it having a very strong 2022. Now, for the last pick in the low risk portfolio, we have Polkadot. Now, Polkadot is probably one of the most exciting technologies in the entire cryptocurrency space right now. Even though, I mean, it's got a massive community. It definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? It's got a massive a community of raving fans, right? But I think it doesn't have the same sort of hype as a lot of the other projects do. And I guess that's a little bit to do with price action. We'll kind of touch on that in just a second. But honestly, its parachain technology is incredible, right? And as I said, I don't want to bore you too much here, but all you need to know about is one of the founders of Ethereum. Just if you could pop up the screen, I forget his name. One of the founders of Ethereum basically realized that it was a train wreck waiting to happen, right? And I think a lot of us still potentially think Ethereum is a train wreck waiting to happen. But anyways, ETH 2.0 coming, don't worry. So anyways, my point is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, he basically decided to split away and start this new project, Polkadot, as a way to sort of hedge against the inevitable scalability issues that Ethereum would face. So basically he, as I said, developed this technology called parachain. So what it is it's parallel blockchains running on the Polkadot network. So each project that wins a parachain slot will have their own parallel blockchain. So in essence, technically, this is infinite scalability for anyone that is building on Polkadot. Now, as with most layer ones, we have seen strong run-ups last year, and we've been in a correction phase since around early November. Now, the DOT token is sitting around 50% below its previous high, which was at the peak hype period around the launch for the first parachain auctions. Now, I do expect Polkadot to be a strong competitor in 2022, and I do believe there will be a DOT season, all right? I think it might come, where we will see projects that win auctions really take off. Now, some ecosystem players are developing revolutionary technologies that will change the vision of DeFi and also bridge seamless interoperability for ETH protocols into DOT, for example, Moonbeam. Now, Polkadot, in my opinion, is one of the strongest players as it is completely unique and can be assumed superior to other chains when it comes to unique features, VC backing, and fundamental development. We can also view Polkadot as a layer 0, technically, yeah, I guess you could, as it is a multi-chain network with shared security and scalability. Like it takes a little while for you to kind of wrap your head around this, but it really is groundbreaking. I'm gonna throw in a bonus fourth portfolio, and this is how to absolutely wreck your ex-girlfriend, all right? And not in that way. if you want to destroy, as I said, the title of this video is actually something that genuinely happened, and I won't tell you which portfolio I ended up investing in for my ex-girlfriend. We're still on good terms and friends and everything, don't worry. But if you want to mess with her, the easiest thing would be to invest in Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, like any sort of meme coin, okay? Look, I get it, some people have made money from it. And look, as any degenerate would know, meme coins have tons of high-risk opportunities. I get that. The meme coin mania in 2021 caused the attention of Elon Musk and many other prolific celebrities. And look, when it comes to crypto, most retail investors like to be DEGEN, so what other better place to start than meme coins? Imagine telling your high school teacher that told you would never amount to anything that you made $1 million off a coin called Cum Rocket. So trust me, I understand the appeal to some of these meme coins. I get it, all right? HODL spirit. But no, okay? Look, this isn't a joke, all right? Investing is not a joke. And I definitely came to that conclusion when, and Tristan will pop up the thumbnails for the 2 videos, on May 15th or something like that. I think I maybe shot on maybe May 10th or something like that. May 15th of 2021. I recorded a video called My $7 million Crypto Portfolio Unveiled. And I think I did what I've never personally seen anyone else in the crypto space do. Like, people say their portfolios, but like I literally showed it like on my phone, refreshed, like all the places. Like I showed my $7 million crypto portfolio. I think something like 7 days later, that crypto portfolio was worth $3.5 million. Okay. And people were just roasting me in the comments. Obviously that portfolio went on to be worth way more than that, etc. But please, Cardano, please hit its all-time highs again. Anyways, my point is, when I lost $3.5 million in 4 days, and that was another video that just won't pop up here. When I did that, and when that happened, I really started to learn that it isn't a game, right? At that point, I was, probably doing an hour a day of research, and I would say that I got lucky. Once that the crash happened, I didn't sell anything, by the way. I sold literally zero. And then I started dollar cost averaging in for the next leg up. But that's really when I had the sobering realization that, look, this isn't a joke. This is people's money online. And the thing is, for me, let's say my portfolio now drops 50% and I'm left with, I've moved some money around in different places. I left at the UK. I had a very big tax bill. There was a couple other things that I wanted to invest in and blah, blah, et cetera. But I think my portfolio right now at the moment is just shy of 8 figures. Like, look, if I drop 50%, right, and I have $5 million or $4.5 million, it's not the end of the world for me, right? I got businesses that make millions a year. It's not an issue, right? But for someone who this is literally all they do, guys, this is not a game, okay? And this is really my last final warning with you. For those of you guys that want to, be degens, I get it. I understand. Look, I've even had it before when I see, I had a bunch of friends who were investing in like a lot of these meme coins, a lot of these coins that, like, let's be honest, are kind of a little sketchy, right? And part of me was like, damn, I have friends who literally just pulled a 40x on a coin in 3 weeks, right? I had a little bit of FOMO, but at the end of the day, that's not, for me, I'm in my 20s, which is why I'm trying to get to the next marker of $20 million invested after tax. You can be a little bit more risky, but you still, everything in life is a game of chess, right? It's offense and defense, okay? If you are watching this and you have less than $100,000 to your name, most likely you can play more of a game of offense, but that doesn't mean, YOLOing it into some meme coin, okay? Take this stuff seriously, guys. I said, if I hated my ex-girlfriend, I would just put it all into like some meme coin. But me and her are still homies. So, as I said, I won't tell you which portfolio I invested in, but I wish this video was clickbait. This actually happened. So I thought I'd present to you guys 3 different portfolios today. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get more up-to-date information, definitely go ahead and follow my Twitter. Tristan will put it up on the screen. In my first month on Twitter, I actually gave away over $10,000. I gave away, I think, 2 ETH and then like 2 actual ETH, and then a couple times I did like $500 giveaways. So I don't really know many other people that are actually doing these giveaways, and I announce the winner every single time, and I put the Ether scan and the whole shebang. So as I said, go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you want some more real sort of real-time updates as well as giveaways. And in the comments down below, I know for some of you guys who aren't used to this, let me know, was this informative? Was this enjoyable? Did I go a little bit too much into sort of the use cases for each one of the protocols? I think maybe I might have overcompensated, because as I said, I don't want I definitely want to pay my respects to the crypto space because I've done very, very well in crypto. But, you know, there have been people who have been here for, you know, a decade plus, right? And they know a lot about it. So yeah, I'm kind of, it's to me as well, just trying to kiss the ring and, you know, tell people that I am in no way, shape or form a crypto expert. I have done better than most of your crypto experts. But that's not only been me, that's been my incredible researcher who works around the clock for basically me. So yeah, anyways, let me know if you guys enjoyed the style. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. Maybe I might do some NFT stuff. I was thinking potentially, for the shits and giggles, buying some NFTs live. Yeah, whatever you guys want to see, just let me know. I know this strays away from sort of my normal business content. So on that note, make sure you follow me on Twitter for some giveaways and real-time updates. And the last thing, in the comments down below, go ahead and tell me which portfolio would you choose and why. And on that note, catch you guys in the next video.
Thank you so much for sticking until this point. I know that if you've got in here, then you are hungry for more knowledge and more content. So I went ahead and specifically picked out an incredible video for you to watch next that I know you're gonna love. Check it out right there.